Well, let's talk about One Nation.
Yes.
It's pretty interesting seeing the rise in support for One Nation. Pauline Hanson out there on Australia Day and releasing that song with Holly Valance.
Hilarious. I have listened to it.
That's number one in one of the charts.
That's right.
And now in this first ever Sky News Pulse poll, it found that One Nation would be the opposition party in Australian federal politics if an election were to be held today. So Pauline Hanson's party had a strong showing at the 2025 election with 6.4%, but has since surged to becoming the party of choice for 25% of voters.
Huge
question, will she be able to keep up this momentum?
Look, it's difficult, I think. It has to be said. I am certainly not one of those people who looks down my nose at One Nation and says they're all crazy or whatever, but and they do have a huge amount of momentum and the coalition is in real trouble. But I think a lot of the reason they have that much momentum is because the coalition's in real trouble. And I think it's also the same with the government as well. I mean, the Labor government is obviously riding high. It's got 94 seats. Even when it takes a hit after Bondi, it's still at like 55-45, which would be, amazing normally. And now people are saying, oh, they've taken a bit of a hit because they're down from 58.
Yeah.
But I think really that too is also a story of a coalition that is completely dysfunctional. So people are looking at Libs and Nats and going, you guys are just, I'm going anywhere but here. The other thing is, of course, and again, this poll reflects even more strongly what News Poll found, which was that One Nation just pipped the coalition for the first time, 22% over 21% primary. The problem is, firstly, the fact that, as you say, it went up from 6.5% at the election shows that this is an astronomic and very, very fast rise. So how firm is that support? Clearly, there's a lot of people supporting One Nation who've never actually voted for them before. Yeah. Are they actually going to get into the ballot box and say, yes, I'm going to not vote Liberal or National for the first time in my life? Maybe. The other question is, where is this vote sort of coming from? Is it evenly distributed? Or is it concentrated enough in seats where One Nation can win? So obviously they'd be going after seats probably held by the Nats. But again, there you'd have incumbent MPs who, know the community very well. That's an advantage. That's often, people often say incumbency is an advantage of about 2 or 3% in an election. So there's all these questions. And then even if it can actually form opposition and get the highest number of seats, a higher number of seats than the coalition, can it then form government? And I don't see how that is possible. So it could be opposition in perpetuity because, of course, in our two-party preferred system and our compulsory voting system, it means that even the most apathetic and unenergised people have to get out and vote. So not people who are fired up by, what One Nation is fired up by. And again, Pauline, like Trump, she's really good at firing people up.
She is.
But fired up people can only vote once.
People know where she stands. And I think we are seeing more and more people just gravitate towards her.
I think definitely so, but I think it will hit a lid. I don't think it will get to 51%, if you like. So, again, she knocks out the Lib or the Nat candidate in any seat or whatever. Where do those votes go? Well, clearly the votes that aren't, if you're not voting for One Nation already, you're probably never going to. The circumstances are perfect for it. We've got cost of living pressures, a lot of people blaming mass immigration for it. The left is going lunatic on some issues, and so that's easy for her to say, look, these guys are crazy. I don't seem so crazy now, do I? Again, a moderate Liberal vote's going to go to Pauline Hanson? No, they're not. So I think opposition, possibly, but government, that's just structurally impossible.